What's up, and welcome to another edition of the Cover 2 Recap. I'm Edward Lewis, publisher, BruinSportsReport.com. This is Joey Kaufman, the UCLA beat writer for the OC Register. We're here today at Spalding Field, where UCLA wrapped up day number 7 and scrimmage number 1, live scrimmaging for the first time. No news and notes today, so a lot of just observations to get into. All 4 quarterbacks took number 1 reps. I thought there was one clear standout, but you thought there was another different clear standout. Tell me about what you saw from the quarterbacks today.
Well, I thought Ashanti Woolard probably had his best day of the spring. You see so much of Ashanti's arm strength during team drills and when they're running the routes. He's probably has, with Rosen, the best arm on the team. But today in like 11-11s, I thought he looked as good as he has been. He was accurate. He had a couple deep down the field throws. So it was probably his best day.
I didn't think any of the 4 quarterbacks looked bad, and like you said, I think it was Woolard's 1 or 2 best practices of spring, but I thought Josh Rosen was, again, just special today. And I know everybody thinks, oh, you're a homer, you're biased, you covered him in high school, he's a 5-star, you did this. Seriously, just put it in a vacuum, light him up straight up, and he was just fantastic. His feel for the pocket is what really caught my eye today. He was playing with the 2s a little bit more often than he was with the 1s, so there's a little bit more pressure in his face, and the way he was able to maneuver around in the pocket, step up, use his feet and his feel for the game to make throws downfield is incredible. When you see like guys like Woolard or Jerry Neuheisel get pressure, they backpedal and throw it away. With Rosen, he sidesteps and moves in the pocket, and I thought he had just incredible feel for the game for a senior in high school. So I thought he was my clear standout of the day. I mean, do you still feel like even though you thought Woolard probably played maybe a little better than Rosen day, do you feel like it's still a Rosen battle to win?
I would say so, just because when you look at the whole body of work, we're through 7 spring practice now. I think he's probably looked the best all in all. The way, as you said, moves in the pocket, because he does do that well. His arm strength down the field, and he also has good touch down the field. He had one deep throw, which went to Thomas Duarte, and Duarte was lined up in the Y spot, and it was kind of a little bit of a vertical route. And he threw it over the safety, had really nice touch on the pass, and Duarte kind of caught it in the back of the end zone. And that throw really could have been bad. It could have been underthrown. It could have had good arm strength, but it was bolted. But he had really nice touch on that pass. So I think he has a good arm, but he's shown on some of the deep passes that he's got some good touch under it.
We were talking a little bit off camera about what today meant. They rotated all 4 with the 1s, and that was a plan that Mora initially didn't have. He wanted to go 2 with the 1s today and 2 with the 1s on Monday night and reevaluate. So what did you take away from this? Is this kind of the last stand, and maybe on Monday we start to see, okay, these are our 2 guys that we want to win the competition?
Yeah, I don't know. We're a little kind of stumped at this point, because Mora, after the 6th practice, he said we're going to reevaluate after the 8th practice, and Jerry and Ashanti are going to get the majority of the reps Saturday, and then Rosen and Faithful on Monday. Now they kind of split up in 4, so I don't really know even what to tell you. And we didn't get to talk to Mora afterwards. But it is interesting. You saw so much Mora had talked throughout the whole spring why he doesn't want to have 4 guys taking the reps, because you do see it watered down. And I agree, it kind of is a little bit watered down today. I feel like each quarterback got maybe 2 or 3 series. They don't get a ton of reps. So maybe this is the last stand, because I don't know if you're really going to go with this 4-man setup much longer.
Let's get into top performers. A lot of them today. I thought a bunch of players stood out today, but give me one guy that stood out for you first.
Thomas Duarte had a couple of nice catches. He had the one I mentioned earlier about Rosen, where Rosen had a little bit of the deep pass. And he had one from Faithful in the end zone where he caught it in the back corner, and I almost thought it was going to be an incompletion, but he got I think it was his right foot down, and he kind of tiptoed in. So that was a nice catch. He's had a pretty good spring. He's a bigger receiver, and the pass that Faithful threw him was high, and he went up and got it. So if he can use his body size well, especially around the goal line, he could take a leap.
My 2 guys, starting with Mossy Johnson, I thought he had a really good practice today. He did have one drop from Josh Rosen that Jim Mora wasn't very happy with, but he had one catch where he laid out one-handed, left-handed on Tahan Goodman and had the whole parking lot cheering with all the fans. He's just, the way he's able to maneuver his body, he's a very, very good wideout. And my other guy, of course, Miles Jack, I hate to put him on here, I always do, but he was so around the football, I guess is what I want to say here. I mean, he probably had 15 tackles today in the 11-on-11 portion of practice, and he's just kind of a beast at that inside linebacker spot. You had one more top performer, and it's kind of cheating, right?
It is cheating, but first I want to nitpick. The Mossy Johnson drop, it was a drop, but Rosen's throw was just slightly behind him. It was a great throw, but he did have to literally stop and kind of come back to it. It did hit him in the hands, and I guess the rule is if it hits you in the hands, you should have caught it. But it could have been a little better. We're not total Rosen honks here. But moving forward, I'll give it to I think the offensive line's been great throughout the whole spring. I can't really even remember very many times at all where a play's been blown up in the backfield. They hand it to a running back and he just gets smattered in the backfield. There's always an immediate push off the line. They're always getting 2 or 3 yards. Even if the play doesn't go very far, it's at least getting positive yardage. So that's they've been pretty good throughout the whole spring.
That'll wrap up our coverage of Day 7. You can follow Joey's coverage of UCLA on Twitter at Joey R. Kaufman. You can follow me on Twitter at Edward_Lewis. Until the next time, thanks for tuning in to the Cover 2 Recap.